Women on TikTok have a problem with coffee dates.
There is an epidemic going around called coffee dates.
If someone asks me to go for a coffee, he's never going to hear from me back again, ever.
Coffee dates are absolutely hideous.
There are several reasons I'm against going on coffee dates.
I've learned that coffee dates are a waste of my time.
You accepting a coffee date is the same thing as him offering a coffee date. It is low effort.
Quite frankly, men don't care if they do or don't like them. Only because women are not the ones initiating these dates, let alone the ones paying for them.
You're not gonna like every person you go on a date with, and that's okay. And he was just like, yeah, like you don't care because you're not the one paying for it.
Gone are the days when a man would approach a woman, he would lead with traditional courtship or chivalry. And if we're being honest, women kinda killed that. Women have changed, times have changed, and men are exploring what it is to be a modern day man and how to maneuver through the endless possibilities of modern day dating. There used to be a time when a date would be a man whining and dining a lady, in which we no longer do that. What we'd rather do as modern man is ask a girl, when are you coming over?
Come over to my place and Netflix and shit.
Come to my place and I'll cook us dinner. I hate it so much.
And at the top of that list is the one kind of date most women hate, a coffee date.
I hate coffee dates.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option.
I can't believe we're still having the debate of coffee dates.
Let's talk about coffee dates as first date.
I don't like coffee. I actually hate it.
Coffee dates to coffee dates.
They think it's low effort. Little do they know that they are working against themselves.
Don't go on dinner dates.
Personally, I do not understand why women would have a problem with coffee dates, when the intended purpose of this coffee date is to figure out if we vibe, if we have chemistry, do we get along, are we attracted to each other, do we actually have anything in common. However, thanks to social media and people projecting their experiences on there, some women have kind of convinced themselves that they need to equate their own value to how much a man spends on them on a first date.
Men take you on the cheapest date they can possibly think of because they still want to have sex with you. So they want to give nothing. They want to spend $7.95 for a fucking venti iced coffee, but then you want some coochie cat.
Your time is worth more than $4.
I'm not cheap, and I'm not for someone that's lazy. I'm a queen and I deserve to be treated like a queen, and if you want to go out with me, then you better step the fuck up.
If that's what your standard is, go for it. You're worth more.
Was a lot of y'all feel entitled to expensive dates when nobody owes you anything. You don't have to accept it and they don't have to offer.
As a result, some women on these social streets are telling women not to go on these coffee dates.
Do not go on that coffee date. Do not go on that boba date. Do not go meet that man for drinks.
No walks, no hikes, no coffee. Level up your love life.
Misery really does love company. Women are just out here keeping each other single.
Coffee dates don't make it easier for you. They make it easier for him to date multiple women.
Correction. Coffee dates make it easier for both parties involved. And yeah, sure, coffee dates make it easier for men to date multiple women. And if we're being honest, women have always dated multiple men, keeping their options open.
I went on 50-ish first dates last year. And out of those dates, about 3 or 4 of them were coffee dates. So after going on date after date after date of like doing my hair, doing my makeup, doing the whole thing, driving to the restaurant, spending an hour at the restaurant to like realize like, we're not vibing, we're not a match, we're not compatible, the chemistry isn't there.
So it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. Noted.
There is an epidemic going around called coffee dates. Growing up, literally since high school, a date has always been dinner or some sort of fun activity that required thought and planning.
Seeing we all chasing money and trying to get our lives together, if I'm gonna take out a girl on a date, even if it's a coffee date, that requires planning and timing. Which coffee spot are we meeting at? What time are we gonna be meeting up?
He sends me the place, he sends me the time, and then we meet and we grab coffee.
To me, that sounds like planning and being thoughtful. Seeing we both have to take time out of our busy schedules in order to meet up and get to know each other over some coffee.
And I'm realizing in my adult years that dates are now becoming, hey, let's meet up for coffee or let's grab drinks. I'm not as opposed to drinks as a date, I'll tell you why, but...
Oh wow, I see this lady. She isn't opposed to going for a cold drink, but she's opposed to going for a hot drink. And let's be honest, them cold drinks tend to be expensive because you go drink after drink. As opposed to the hot drink, you can just have one and just chill. Hey, did y'all know back in the day, a first date would be sharing a milkshake? But I digress.
Asking you to go get coffee is literally the most low effort date a man could possibly take you on next to come over to my place and Netflix and chill. And I don't know when it became such a normal thing to the point that it's like, a debate, like people are debating whether or not this is acceptable, because so many men are suggesting let's grab coffee as a first date.
Back in the early 1900s, early 2000s, a date would be going out to a dinner date, when men and women used to be traditional. However, that is not the case in 2023. None of us is traditional. Sure, we exude traditional traits, however, none of us is traditional. And what's crazy to me is modern women expect modern men to move like traditional men, forgetting that traditional men and women used to take long walks, meetups at the park, milkshake dates as a first date. So evidently, some men are still traditional in nature. However, you cannot expect me as a man in 2023 to move the same way as my grandfather moved in 19 whatever. No way, lady. That ain't happening.
Dating apps have played a huge role in the rise of coffee dates, in my opinion, because both men and women don't want to commit to sitting down to a dinner or like spending an extended amount of time with someone that they literally have never met in person or spoken to, or have no idea if there's even a connection beyond just a photo and text messages. There is a very easy workaround to that requires just a little bit of effort on your part and the guys, and that's getting on a phone call to vet each other out, see if you like the other person's energy, get a chance to ask all your red flag questions, and if you're still feeling them after that, then go on a real date.
How do you vet someone on a call? People is out here catfishing people for years. There's an entire series about this. And I know some of y'all are going to be out here in the comment section saying, hey, why don't you video call? Guess what? You can video call someone, then meet up in person with them, all to realize that you're actually not attracted to them. Or the chemistry that you have on the phone is not the same chemistry that you have in person. And let's not forget, some people actually know their angles when it comes to video calls. Next thing, the burger that was advertised to you does not look like the burger that you just bought.
I just got off a 30-minute phone call with a guy that I met on Hinge. We messaged for a little bit on the app, and then I was like, okay, call me, because I too do not want to sit on a date with somebody who I have no interest in once they've opened their mouth. And at the end of the phone call, we're trying to coordinate our schedules to figure out a date, and this guy goes, I take it you're not a coffee person. And I said, no, I'm not. And he said, okay, I'll figure something out.
You know, I've realized when it comes to dating, women are speaking from a point of privilege.
Whoever asked should pay. I've never asked out a man. I've only been asked out. So in my personal situations, men have always paid for me.
If women were the ones planning and paying for these dates, they would probably approach coffee dates the same way men do. However, I do not expect most women to understand what I just said, because most women actually make dating about themselves.
This man saw you, and his first initial thought wasn't, wow, I'd really love to get to know her over some dinner and a nice ambiance. He looked at you and said, Dunkin'? Starbucks?
A man asks you out on a date and they should be expected to pay because they asked you out.
I used to not tolerate anything less than a dinner date. If a guy wasn't asking me out to dinner, I was not going out with him.
Now at this point, I will only accept a dinner date or a planned activity date of some sort. This is because we've already vetted each other out. If he ends up asking me out and taking me out, there is already a base level interest there. So from this point forward, I want to see what it would be like to date you. How do you come correct as a man? I'm going to show him what it would be like to date me and the treatment that I expect. And he can decide whether or not he wants to deal with that.
Ma'am, your time is valuable. He has not earned the right to sit before a queen, somebody as precious as you, for longer than 45 minutes.
Romance me, make me feel special, impress me, treat me like a queen. Give me a good reason why I should give you my time. Get the fuck out of here with all that French toast. My time is just as valuable as your time is. In actual fact, my time is probably more valuable than yours, seeing I'm the one who has to pay for this experience that I'm taking this girl on. But no, let's continue wasting a man's time, a man's efforts, a man's money, all for a foodie fucking call. So now men are waking up and realizing, in order to filter out the foodie calls and the time wasters, how about we do a coffee date?
Coffee dates are casual, they are quick, they require no effort, and they are not romantic in the least.
And if we're being honest, romance is pretty corny if you ask me.
I am none of those things, so I will not be going on a coffee date. If you categorize yourself as those things, then go ahead and go on a coffee date, because that is the message that you are sending to someone when you accept those dates. I really don't understand how it has become so normalized that it is the first thing that so many men go to. So please, if you feel like you need to do some recon on somebody before you meet up on a date, get on the phone and vet them out, and stop accepting coffee dates because you are too scared to talk to them or tell them what you really want.
No, ma'am. He has to earn his way up to that, ma'am. The first date should always be at a coffee house.
Coffee dates are the easiest way to vet a girl or a guy, not over the phone. As much as it benefits men, it also benefits women to go on coffee dates.
It's very rare that a coffee date moves to bed.
mostly because of the timing. Like, it's literally the sun's still out.
Hence, I agree with everything this lady has to say.
Don't go on dinner dates. Let me explain. I used to be a dinner date girly. I used to not tolerate anything less than a dinner date. If a guy wasn't asking me out to dinner, I was not going out with him. But now I'm a coffee date girl, boba date girl, dessert date girl. Let me tell you why I changed my perspective. I just feel it is just too much of your time and too much of your energy to be giving to a person that you don't even know. You're literally carving out your whole evening and you don't even know if you like this person. You could do your whole hair, whole makeup, outfit, everything like that, sit down at dinner with this guy and realize in the first 5 minutes, like, oh my gosh, we're not vibing, I don't really like him. But guess what? You kind of have to stick through. I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to, but out of like manners, I guess, respect. I've never walked out on anyone during dinner, but you kind of have to like sit through the whole dinner. So after going on date after date after date of like doing my hair, doing my makeup, doing the whole thing, driving to the restaurant, spending an hour at the restaurant to like realize like, we're not vibing, we're not a match, we're not compatible, the chemistry isn't there. Coffee dates, dessert dates is where it's at. Show up, finish your coffee. If you're not vibing, you could leave. I just feel like with the dinner date, it's just so much that's invested into a dinner date. And I just feel like it's kind of awkward. I feel like it's a little too formal meeting a person for a first time. I don't know. I feel like a dinner date is more like fun when you feel more comfortable with the person. I think coffee dates is a little less informal.
Hey man, what do I know? I'm not a coffee date kind of guy. I'm more the Netflix and chill kind of dude. And then we build up from there. However, if I were to do dates, a coffee date would make more sense to me. The problem with corny traditional restaurant date nights is that people tend to lead there with their best foot forward. Then 2 months down the line, problems start, and then people start to realize that, hey yo, I got finessed on that first date. That's if you didn't get ghosted on it. And that's the reason why I feel coffee dates make no sense. They simple, they casual, there is no pressure to be what you are not. And also, I wouldn't want to break the bank with someone who's going to tell me, oh no, I like you as a friend. Oh no, I'm not attracted to you like that. Oh no, ghost. And also, I wouldn't want to break the bank for someone who's probably smashing someone else while they're dating me. So instead of doing all that corny romance stuff with someone I barely know, I'd rather do that with someone I actually vibe with. Someone I enjoy being around. Someone I just genuinely want to hang out with. Someone I actually know I have chemistry with. Also, I wouldn't want to break the bank on a date asking a girl, what do you like? What do you dislike? What are your turn-ons? What are your turn-offs? I wouldn't want to put myself through that at a dinner. That's what the freaking damn coffee date is for. To figure out if the juice is worth the squeeze. You being pretty is not enough. Truth of the matter is, if a girl really likes you, she just wants your time.
This is worse than a coffee date. He just wants to take you on a walk somewhere. Where? I mean, unless we fly to Florence and we take a romantic walk, it's a no for me.
However, if you need to be paying premium prices just to spend time with her, then best believe you got yourself a girlfriend on subscription or a debit order. Moral of the story is,
it doesn't matter whether a man takes you to Starbucks, Benihana's, Morton's Steakhouse, or damn McDonald's. At the end of the day, if you present yourself as the type of woman that can be bought, he'll shower you with any type of gift, restaurant, whatever you want in order to hit.
That's it for women on TikTok have a problem with coffee date.